So when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a fuck him. Everybody including Will. I mean, Will. Fuck.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if you want to dare to be great.
You know what I mean? Leave them big guys alone. Stop trolling them, right? They're best 147 pounders in the world, and they're the best 140 pounders for a reason.
Gervonta Davis said on X that he thinks he can fight Canelo now that Crawford has lost. "I'm going to really hit him." He said he felt better about himself. People who didn't believe in him were told by his fans to watch him act. He said he would work out more, and that he wanted to be respected in the sport and have a real chance to make a name for himself. He also thinks that winning will make him one of the best fighters in the world right now. Many boxing fans thought that Terence Crawford would be praised for his surprise win over Canelo Alvarez instead. Gervonta Tank Davis was mean and said he could fight Crawford on his own. Analysts were shocked by Davis's comment, saying that if he didn't want to respect Crawford, he could have at least tried not to hurt him. They stressed that Crawford had done something that a lot of people thought was impossible. By a large measure, deep Canelo. They thought that ignoring such a victory was embarrassing and not fitting for a fellow fighter.
A first ballot Hall of Famer, a 4-division champion, a 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and was the reigning undisputed 168-pound super middleweight world champion. Superstar boxer, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is now 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. And Gervonta Tank Davis, I'm not even going to read off his accolades, because what he did is just nasty work. And this is your king that y'all be praising. Gervonta Tank Davis, instead of applauding the accomplishments, just tip your hat. Just tip your hat. Hey, salute. And if you don't want to salute him, guess what? Just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. If you don't want to salute that man, just don't say nothing. Right? And so, Gervonta Tank Davis takes to social media because the boxing world is praising Terence Crawford for what he did. After Gervonta Tank Davis, when the fight was announced and when Terence Crawford was saying he wanted to go up from 154 to 168, Gervonta Tank Davis said he was doing it for the money, not for the legacy.
Crawford had talked about Gervonta Davis in public before this. That was clear. If Davis were up against someone bigger, he didn't think Davis would take a chance. Crawford believed Davis was a talker who dodged the toughest issues. Crawford also said that he didn't like Davis, which made it sound like any fight between them would be more than just a match. It would be about them.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
but like his core personality and his ways.
Bill Haney, Devin Haney's dad and coach, joined the chat as well. Davis's words didn't bother him because he thought Tank would never be able to beat Crawford's work. Haney thinks Davis should stop making fun of bigger boxes and concentrate on his own weight class instead. In order to get respect, he told Davis to stay in his weight class at 147 pounds and not fight winners in weight classes he didn't belong in. Haney thought Davis's words were just an attempt to get people's attention.
What's on Tank saying he'd knock out Terrence in 6 rounds? You think he was playing, trolling, what? Selling tickets to his new fight?
Was that like his tweets? Like he's
Nah, he said it
on video.
Huh?
He said audio. He said it. He's like, if I tap that chin, you know he chinny.
Listen, Terrence has already hired us for any of the little guys. Anybody 130, 26, 30, 35, you know, Gary Russell, Hank Davis, you cannot go to get to Terrence Crawford without going through us. Rolly Romero, leave Earl Spence alone. You see what I'm saying? You come over here and you get that ass stepped into. You know what I mean? Leave them big guys alone. Stop trolling them, right? They're best 147 pounders in the world, and they're the best 140 pounders for a reason.
Coach Greg Hackett was very happy that Terrence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez. He said it was one of the most important fights in recent memory. Crawford has done something that hasn't been done in generations and hasn't left any other memory. Hackett said that since Bob Fitzsimmons and Henry Armstrong, no other fighter has been able to move up in weight class and beat a popular fighter like Canelo easily. Hackett said that the game was much more interesting because of Crawford's unexpected win. It wasn't a close call or a lucky punch. It was clear who was the better fighter after seeing how well they fought. According to Hackett, Crawford's win makes him a star in his own right and solidifies his place among the greats of sports. He also said that people who didn't like Crawford shouldn't ask him for reasons or to explain his actions because they spoke for themselves. Hackett ended by telling Crawford that he had cleared up all of his questions and that he should be proud of what he had done instead of reacting with anger. Hackett has never had a better day than when Crawford won that race.
At the same time. Legendary shit. He goes in there and beats arguably the best fighter or one of the best fighters of his era.
Yeah.
Regardless of weight class.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on the performance?
The performance was like clean. Like it was real. It was times where it was close calls. Like it looked like Canelo might, like damn, Canelo might get him right here. You know what I mean? Bud found a way out, slip up out of there. He was working behind his jab real good. Footwork real good, you know, setting the pace. He was creating what I like to call a spider web in there. You know what I'm saying? That's basically setting traps with your movement. The part I didn't expect was for Canelo to really approach Bud like Bud, you know, like he was just gonna punch on Bud. He was what I mean by that is Canelo when he would hit Bud to his hips or like on the shoulder, because I seen him do it a few times. He was like Canelo was like looking for those results that he usually get when he do those things. And I was like, I can't believe he looking at Bud like that. Like he really trying to play Bud. I mean, on the low. He know Bud can fight, but it was like, I'm gonna hit, all right, when I hit you on your hips, you gonna act right. I mean, when I hit you on your shoulders, you gonna act right. And you can tell Canelo's been spoiled over the years. Canelo's gotten better, a lot better. And Canelo is a legend for sure. But you could tell he's imposed his will on a lot of guys and won off of his poker face alone. You know what I mean? Along with the punishing shot.
Terrence Crawford has said in public that he doesn't like Gervonta Davis, but he hasn't said for sure that he won't fight him. If Davis means business, Crawford will definitely want the fight to happen. His weight only needs to go up by 47 pounds. Crawford thinks that forcing Davis to fight would not only stop him from talking nonsense all the time, but it would also give him another chance to show off his skills against a famous opponent. Davis, he thinks, is the only one to blame for what happened. Outside of the ring, Tank shouldn't say anything too bold. He should take the chance to show that he really thinks he can win. The fact that Crawford wants the fight, even though he knows the odds are still in his favor, shows that he has faith in his own skills.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes and, you know, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow,
man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You're gonna have a pre-camp.
Then then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
DJ Rom, a famous boxing expert, praised Terrence Crawford for being able to do many things well and knowing a lot about the ring in general. He thinks that Crawford is one of the few players who can do everything at the highest level. Rom says that what makes Crawford special is that he can adapt to any style, whether he's facing a strong puncher, a smart counter-puncher, or a fighter who always puts pressure on him. What makes him unique is that he can quickly switch between attack and defense, which makes his opponents think. Ram says Crawford is the best athlete of his generation because he knows timing, distance, and angles better than anyone else. Crawford doesn't just see his fights as a game. Each change feels like a carefully thought-out brushstroke on a board, which makes them works of art. Ram thought Crawford was more than just a winner. He thinks of him as a problem solver in the ring who can break down any task into smaller ones. The fact that Crawford always seems to win makes Ron and many others think that his image will be unmatched for many years to come.
Like I said, he would. You know, Bud is special, man. He can adapt. He can make adjustments. There's nothing he can't do. I was a little worried because in the beginning when the fight was announced, because of Canelo's power, Bud coming up, they're like, oh, he come up 2 weight classes. I consider it, he came up 3, because he only had one fight at 154.
Yeah, one fight at 54.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like it's 3 weight classes in 2 fights.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that right there, that was a big thing, because Canelo is strong. Canelo does hit hard, he got power, and he's comfortable at 168. You understand what I'm saying? More comfortable. I didn't know if the weight was going to do something to Bud. But I know there was ways that he could outbox him easily. And he did it. Towards the closer to the fight date, I changed my stance on it and leaned more to Bud, which was a good thing because my prediction was right yesterday on it. And he just outboxed him, outclassed him. He showed people. And I think he still followed a bit of the Mayweather blueprint. You know, Canelo has to plant his feet all the time to throw off his power, let off his power shots. He has to just make that quick stop, real quick, like a millisecond. But that's all Bud needs to move out the way. Bud sets him up to get a reaction. By the time Canelo goes to throw that punch, Bud sits to the side and catches him that way. It's too late. You know what I mean? For Canelo to his planning of the feet to throw his power punches. If more people figure that out and really take that into consideration in their training camps, I think he would have more losses. But a lot of them fear the power, like the skull.
Even though Crawford did some strange things, many friends and critics still didn't want to give her full credit. They said this was partly because they didn't like Canelo, who has a lot of fans, especially in Mexico. Crawford is an African-American boxer who has often faced unfair bias. People who didn't like Crawford's win showed that their dislike was about more than just the fight. It talked about bigger issues like racism, fame, and how people see the sport.
Guy just come 2 to 3 weight divisions lower. Well, so you would be asking a guy to literally just stand there like this new slap exercise. Slap me and I slap you. That's not boxing. And that's extremely sour grapes. And my advice to you is this. Although most times people will stay on cold, there's there's exceptions to the rules where people will say, I'm not going that far. You know what I mean? Like by our administration right now that's governing the New Russia. They do a lot of illegal things on a daily. But this pedophilia, some people are saying, no, I'm jumping off the boat on this one. I'm going to go with protecting the kids. I mean, I'll go with you with a lot of stuff, but protecting the kids is kind of important to me. Should be, right? It should be, levels, or it should be, where you just you don't go a certain length, right? There should be borders. So okay, I don't go past that line. And the line should be pedophilia, or a line should be no objectivity at all in the world of boxing. You saw a great performance, and Canelo just lost, right? This guy is just a better fighter. Right? If he can come up from that weight division and stand in the pocket most of the time, and still win. If you are saying that you don't want Canelo to be able to cut the ring off with this guy that didn't really run at all, then you're basically saying, well, listen, let's just stand and slug. And that's brawling. right? That has nothing to do with boxing. And so people are going to jump off that. And here's something else that's going to happen to you people right now with sour grapes and are racist running around just saying ridiculousness, right? Because you're disappointed.
A rising star named Hamza Shiraz also said nice things about Crawford's showing and called him a tough opponent. It was said by Shouse that Crawford has never had a problem with an opponent and always finds a way to win. Crawford's words showed that younger fighters looked up to him as a great example. Shar thought that Crawford's showing against Canelo proved what he already knew. Crawford is doing something that not many other people can do.
About himself in the post-fight press conference yesterday, he goes, my mind wants to do it, he goes, my body can't. Doesn't mean he's totally shot. He's not totally shot. He's still a great fighter, and someone I could definitely see myself in the ring with pretty soon.
And beating?
Yeah, definitely. It would have been kind of nice for him to get the win and then me to fight him and then potentially have beaten him. But yeah, God has a different plan.
Look, it still could be Canelo. I don't know when. The plan's obviously a little bit ruined, but do you believe you'd stop Canelo versus Hamza?
Do I believe I'd stop him? I believe I've got a good chance of doing it.
Brian Bull McIntyre, who used to train Crawford, told him what he thought might happen next. He made it clear that Crawford might not want to fight David Benavidez. He told Crawford not to put too much pressure on himself and to take a break to heal. Max's words show that Crawford has won the freedom to make his own decision. Now that Crawford has nothing to show for himself, he may put his reputation and personal goals ahead of what critics want.
168, maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terrence Crawford.
No, man. No, I ain't doing that fight.
Maybe planning on vacating the belts?
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. We just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym and do our thing.
And it's absolutely.
And he don't want none.
54, no. So what does this performance prove about the end of sparring? You guys were largely
I told you it don't make no difference. Didn't I say it? I said that don't mean shit. I don't give a damn about that.
Yeah.
I said that, didn't I? In one of those interviews, I said that. Don't mean shit, because he's no Bud Crawford. I'm not taking nothing from innocent, Bozy, them over there, them my guys.
A famous heavyweight boxer named Evander Holyfield also had something to say about Crawford's win. He thought Crawford did a great job and praised his timing, footwork, and understanding of the ring. Holyfield said that Crawford had shown a level of skill that made him different from other winners. What made Crawford's win over Canelo more than just a win? It was a show of skill that made people remember what great fighting is all about. It was important that a hero like Holyfield said such nice things about him.
Crawford's performance over Canelo.
Oh, it was super.
Super.
Because the thing is that when you got both of the guys are good.
Right.
I just think that when you have two guys, the smaller guy is the guy that don't have the punching power, but he has the skills that's necessary.
Crawford.
Yeah.
So you were very impressed with this performance? Would you say?
Well, yeah. The point of the matter is, I knew if it came down to if somebody got knocked out, I thought Crawford would probably get knocked out.
Yeah.
But I know about boxing.
This is the end of today's movie. Watch out. Until the next time.